Good.
Did you hit record over there?
Did not.
All right, ready to go live here on...
I guess.
We are recording.
Oh, just in time for me to clear my throat.
Yeah.
I could have cleared my throat before he can go live, but
No.
I decided to do it the opposite way.
Yes.
Like a radio professional. Oh, we're right on the dot, too.
Hear that
It's
cancer.
11:30. I was looking
Nice.
at 11:29, and nope, right on the dot, man.
Perfect.
Hey,
That's
Twitch.
the one and only time that'll ever happen.
Right. Hey, Twitch, welcome back to Nerd Radio. We're here for week 3.
They're like, oh, God damn it.
They're doing the thing again.
Yeah, like, oh, I thought we were going to be able to watch a real show. Yeah. But they put on a real program.
Nope, just these nerds. Talking about, well, typically we like to talk about nerd stuff. This week, not as much nerd stuff to talk about, so we'll see. We'll see where it takes us. This is one of those, like, close your eyes and let the car drive itself kind of weeks.
Wonderful.
All right, let me get started here. Welcome to Nerd Radio on the podcast page at WRAF.com, wherever you get your podcast, as part of the BPod Studios Network, and, of course, on the podcast page at
Rock929rocks.com.
Thank you very much. And, as always, we're streaming Wednesday afternoons live on Checkpoint XP's Twitch stream, which is...
Twitch.tv/CheckpointXP.
Thank you very much, James. Albeck and James joining myself, Chuck
Nailed
Bean.
that.
You punched that, man.
Dude, I
I
nailed
know.
it. And only if you're watching on the stream live, you see me directly.
Yeah.
The camera cuts right to me, right when I deliver that URL,
Yeah.
like a seasoned veteran.
Yes. And also the director of the Twitch stream.
Right. That is excellent.
Yeah, we may be in trouble today, by the way.
We might be.
Yeah, I came in the studio. You weren't up here yet, James, and we sat down, and Chuck was just like, "Dude, I don't have very much today." It's like, "Oh, good. Stop talking to me. Let's save it all for the podcast."
Right.
I don't. Why did you come say hi to me when you got here? You should have stayed away.
And we wasted all that good talk about HR card fraud stuff by trolling somebody, having their password to their sign-in system to get paid here.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So today we're all going to speak very slowly and about nothing, or should I say, even less than usual.
Even more nothing than usual.
Yes.
No, there's a couple things that went on, but it's not one of those weeks. Last week, of course, we were talking about Disney, the Disney streaming service, which is was a grand time. And the week before that, I don't even remember what we were talking about. But this week, there's a couple of things that are happening. First of all, the thing that I'm most excited for is we are only a couple of days away from It Chapter 2 comes out in the theaters.
Yeah. It's like, what, Friday, I think?
Yeah, Thursday or Friday that's going to be coming out, and I'm excited, but the reviews I've seen lead me to believe that either I'm really going to enjoy this or it's going to be the third Matrix movie all over again.
Oh, no, a big old turd?
Yeah, we're like...
big old turd with a bozo haircut and a big red nose.
Where they set up such a good premise in the first movie that then like they can't pay it off in the next one, but I'm looking forward to it.
Again, another perfect, metaphor for this show right here.
A turd dressed up like a clown?
A turd that loses it in the third act. Third act turd.
I will leave that up to our listeners and our viewers whether or not we follow through in the third act. So
Yes, I might just leave. I used to do that. I used to just leave.
Well,
two-thirds of the way through the show.
Well, it's usually because we had a wrestling topic coming up and we only had like one mic that worked.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've also done shows where it was the three of us and we lost a microphone
That's
in the
true.
middle of a classic James rant too. I mean, it was
That's
Yeah.
usually when it happens. That's
Yeah.
when I get all aggro and start slamming stuff around.
aggro.
well, as we learned when Twitch stream started, don't bang on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was Al's Iron Fist that did that this time.
This time.
I'm not taking any credit for that.
That's the thing, though. Like, James did it last week, and so he is, like, extra sure to make sure everyone knows. Al did it. Al did it this time. It's Al this time. How soon we forget.
He's making sure to throw
A
you
whole lot
under
of
the bus.
misdirection over here.
Right, exactly.
Pay no attention to what happened in the past. We only talk about what currently happened now. This isn't a history lesson. This isn't nerd history.
We can't change what happened already.
Right.
We can only change what happens in the future. So
Exactly. We're not time travelers, okay? So we can only prevent things from happening, and not in that quantum leap kind of way where we could jump into other bodies and stuff. So, unfortunately, I can't transport into Al's body, And
can you imagine if James could quantum leap?
Oh, dude. If I quantum leap?
Can you imagine?
Yes.
He's going right into John Cena's body.
The,
This is his first,
Absolutely,
that's his
yes.
first stop.
Yes. Right into John Cena's body, and I'm going to look at myself nude in the mirror for a half hour.
Yeah, it's going
what
to
I'm
be
talking
a
about.
minimum of an hour and a half visit.
the new Quantum Leap would literally just be like Jackass. It's just James.
I love this concept.
James
I'm all in on
quantum
this
leaping in
concept.
other people's bodies and then doing the craziest stunts possible because he knows he doesn't have to deal with any of the consequences.
Quantum James. I love it.
Quantum James.
I love it.
Oh my God. There we go. I think
Coming
we have,
soon to Netflix.
Yeah, we got a spinoff there for you. Did you guys read the? Speaking of Netflix, did you guys read the thing that Netflix is saying with their new shows? They're not going to put them all out at once.
I read a headline like this morning. I think that they're saying they're going to release them like
On a
regular
week-
network.
Yeah, on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
Episode
not
on a
happy
weekly-
about that.
Hulu already does that with their original programming.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's the kind like, why? The part of the joy and point of the shows is the
So I
fact
can
that
sit
like
on my ass in
Yeah,
my
I-
underwear for an entire day and watch nothing but what I've been currently watching, the Santa Clarita Diet.
Really?
Right.
Yes.
I've heard a number of people give positive reviews on
I'm
that.
not saying it's 100% positive on
Yeah.
the show. It's just the person that I'm with is
Yeah,
obsessed
yeah.
with the show.
and your choices are this or Grey's Anatomy,
Exactly.
as
so
we discussed last week.
Yeah.
So
Well-
I'll take Santa Clarita Diet. They actually
That's
won me over probably like towards the end of the second season.
It's got
Right.
Tim Oliphant, though, in it, right?
I believe, that's
Yeah.
the guy. I think he plays like the main husband with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Like the main. He's the husband to Drew
Yeah,
Barrymore.
he was in Deadwood and all that. Yeah, I like him.
He's-
Justified,
yeah.
he was in.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, he's fine. For me, it's really hard for me to suspend disbelief. You guys know the concept of the program?
Isn't Drew Barrymore a zombie?
Kind of modern day zombie, but she's
Yeah.
like a soccer mom zombie.
Yep.
I'm a zombie, but I also have to balance being a realtor and also taking the kids to the soccer practice, and also I'm going to use my ability to be a zombie to only eat bad people. Like
Right.
it was really hard for me to suspend disbelief as to everything that was going on with the program. But there's some really funny stuff. Nathan Fillion
Okay.
Oh,
from
yes.
Firefly
Yep.
Yes.
has a role in
Captain
a couple
Mal.
of the seasons, and my God, he is hilarious at some points, but not till later on, probably into like the second season. He just
Right.
cracks me up.
I didn't even
That's
know he
awesome.
was in that show.
No, I didn't
he also
either.
voiced the Green Lantern for some of their
he?
animated movies. Yeah.
I just
Look at that Al Beck with the Green Lantern fact.
Well,
Yeah, well-
I do love the Green Lantern.
it wasn't him, but it was what was the guy that played Jane on Firefly? It was Adam Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
He was the voice of Superman in the DC universe, the MMO, when it came out, and they just put it on the Switch, so you can download. It's like a 20 gigabyte download. So I had to
Oh
get a
my
new-
God.
I had to get a new card
So
for
you
my
were all
Switch.
in, man. You got the Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Now you got
I got the DC universe
MMO.
thing. I got
God,
I get my superhero fix, man.
Well,
But they changed the voice. Like it's clearly not. When I first played it years ago on the PlayStation 4, I was like, oh yeah, that's him. I can tell it's Adam Baldwin doing a Superman voice.
Yeah.
But now it's like it's totally somebody else. What the f?
God, that's a good show, Firefly. I got to go back and watch it again.
That was a good show.
I'm about due for another watching.
Speaking of rewatching shows, you came in over the Labor Day weekend.
Oh, yeah.
we were switched over.
There
and-
was a marathon on.
Yes, there was. I noticed. I think it was the Sundance Channel had nothing but MASH for
That's
like
right.
2 days.
Whoa!
I know.
So doing some of the overnights, I would put the Sundance Channel on and do my overnight. And every now and again, look up and be like, I don't think I've seen this one before.
Al walks in every morning with a heart on.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I watched an episode in MASH and said, I've never seen this before.
Right.
In a very long time.
Which is crazy to me because I watched MASH and like Star Trek: The Next Generation and Cheers and all that stuff growing up in syndication. So it was like on at midnight
Yeah.
or 11:30 after the news or something like that. And even then, I could tell that watching it every night over the summer, like syndication only grabs the highest rated episodes
Yeah,
and runs them.
yeah.
So you don't see them in order, and you don't see like. You don't see all the episodes. So
Or it's like a package deal. Like, because if you watch Friends and stuff, and I watch Friends on syndication a lot. There's
All right.
only certain seasons at a time.
yeah.
So like TBS, because they're like the big money Friends network right now, will forget all like the cooler, newer episodes. Well, then like WGN, whatever, Chicago,
Right.
will have like the really, really old ones.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how that all gets set up.
Right.
Once in a while, you'll get a network that commits to it, and they're like, all right, we'll start at the beginning, and just every time we do it, it's the next episode, and they'll go through it. You get that every so often.
Well, and with the way shows work now, like they'll have these overarching plots throughout a season. Like it's really, I'm sure it's really difficult when you are syndicating a show. You have to run it sequentially in order to do that. But what I was getting at is that I know that I saw the same 30 episodes of MASH over and over and over again in syndication. So it's crazy to me that you watched it somewhat the same way you were telling me the other day, and you've seen almost all of it.
Should I share how when I first got into MASH?
Sure.
Back when my dad was the one who introduced me to it. I know it's an origin story. When my dad introduced me to the show, I was hooked on it immediately, and so I think at the time FX used to run 3 separate 2-hour blocks every single day, and then Fox 2 used to run just 1 episode at night. So there was 6.5 hours of MASH on every day, and I watched every second of it over a summer. And I saw almost all but 1 episode doing it that way.
And this was before DVR.
Yeah, and this is So
this was you had your clock set.
Yeah,
you're like, oh man, I gotta watch MASH.
She's lucky.
Every so often there'd be like I would tape a few episodes on a VCR.
Like all his favorites, like the Christmas episode.
I did. I had a MASH Christmas tape. I actually did. Like around Christmas time, they ran a MASH marathon.
Mommy, can we watch the MASH Christmas episodes?
And I,
you sure you don't want to watch Rudolph,
dude? And I would watch it all the time. It didn't matter.
She's like, but the Charlie Brown Christmas special done. I want to watch MASH, Mommy. I like MASH.
I want to watch.
I want to know what's going on with Hot Lips McGillicuddy.
I want to watch Hawkeye operating on guys in the Korean War.
Yeah,
that makes me happy.
Yeah, so I would sit there and I'd wait when the commercials would start. I'd pause the VCR, so you cut out the commercials, unpause it when the show came back.
Look at you, fancy pants.
Wow.
Yeah, he's already cutting out the commercials.
There's a VCR hack for you from the old man.
Elbeck's old man VCR.
But
hack.
watching it that way
straight back to the 80s.
When the DVDs finally started getting released, obviously I bought them all as they came out, and when I collected all 11 seasons on DVD, I found 1 episode I had never seen before, and it's not even a great episode, which is why it was missing from all that.
It's like some rare lost episode of MASH where like they said something that they shouldn't have said, so the critics were like, you can't ever
you can't
this
say
episode.
that. Right, exactly.
Just wasn't a great episode. It was not. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, nothing says holiday cheer like the Korean War and
right.
saving lives, I guess.
I had when I was growing up, I had a video cassette that I would tape Ninja Turtles cartoons on.
Yeah.
Like I'd set it to whatever the maximum time is, like 6 hours or 8 hours, something like that. So I had 6 to 8 hours of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, because you had the
cartoons.
different speeds you could record on, so you can make a VHS last like 2 hours, 4 hours, or 6 hours, or whatever that was. Man, taking me back.
I know, but I would have that. I would put that tape on every night when I would go to bed, just so Ninja Turtles would be on. And then if I woke up in the middle of the night, it'd be like, "Oh, Ninja Turtles is on, cool."
He's got Michelangelo just lulling him to sleep. Like, oh, go to sleep, little Chucky baby.
Yeah,
go to sleep, little Chucky baby. Then he wakes up from a nightmare. It's all okay because Master Splinter's here.
Yeah.
Master Splinter and Pizza's here. Everything's gonna be okay.
As we've discussed already on the show, I never really watched Ninja Turtles. So do you still have that tape handy by chance?
I'll have to look.
He's also been having some trouble sleeping.
Yeah, right. Well, I told you guys last week that I saw the first half hour of Aquaman, and then I was really sleepy, so I fell asleep. Apparently, that's my new Blade Runner.
It's your new Blade Runner.
Because I have 2 more times I've gotten about 20 minutes more into that movie and been like, man, this is really cool, and then fell asleep.
Dude, I'm having the same issue with Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I finally watched
newest
it.
one?
Yeah, the newest one. Like, I was so excited. We had Kyle come in and talking how great this movie is. I'm so excited to watch it. I can't wait. I love Godzilla. I got him tattooed on my damn leg, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep within like 20 minutes. I'm like, this is bad. I should.
Is it bad, or is it just like the moment you were watching it in?
For me, I think overall the movie is it's fairly well done, but I couldn't get into it. Like the story, like the story build up to the monsters fighting and stuff is kind of weird and out there. And again, I'm having issues suspending my disbelief in order to understand that there's all these giant Titan monsters hidden somewhere in the earth.
Yeah, like how did we not find them up to this point, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's crazy. And I mean, essentially the whole movie is you got to let the Titans come and kind of purge the earth, and they take dumps or whatever, and it helps new plant life grow. And
that's the Godzilla
it kills
movie.
the humans.
That's the Godzilla
yeah.
movie I'd like to see, is them trying to deal with the fallout of the fact that these giant monsters have to go to the bathroom at some point.
Yeah. Godzilla droppings. You gotta clean them up. It's like a giant Tamagotchi.
They find out
Godzilla's turd burglar here. I gotta sweep up all these.
They discover that like New Zealand is actually just monster turds.
Yeah, I was curious though, because I remember the first time I ever watched Guardians, I felt like Guardians of the Galaxy. I fell asleep during it, and it was just one of those. I was really tired that day, and I just wasn't in the mood for it. And I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's. And I hadn't really read any Guardians going into it, so I didn't really have any sort of. I knew who Rocket Raccoon was, and so I watched. I'm like, wow, that kind of sucked. Like, why did they make a movie out of that?
Fall asleep.
Yeah, that's great. Good job, Marvel. And then like I go back and I need to try this again. I'm like, well, this movie's great. So like, what was wrong with me that day? So,
yeah, I wish I had that same experience with Godzilla. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not totally crapping on Godzilla, but it just kind of.
Yeah, well, like I said, the Aquaman movie, fantastic. Like the effects, the like I said last week, the fact that they took characters that should not work, that are just silly, and made them work is great. Watching all the water effects and stuff, and like the people are driving around. And the point that I fell asleep at last night, the people are driving around Atlantis in like these fish cars, which is that's silly.
Like the Jetsons, but with
Yeah.
fish.
All the cars, like one of the cars looks like a manta ray, and what Mara's car just looks like some kind of crazy fish with the spines or whatever like that. But
She's got the Corvette.
as I'm
fish
telling
cars.
you, fish car. You're like, what? Fish car? But no, and then you see it and you're like, wow, that looks badass.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just out of curiosity for James too, because you mentioned Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Are you a Blade Runner fan or no?
I tried watching the original on Netflix like years ago.
Yeah.
Fell asleep.
Thank you.
Okay,
and
so
I
we're.
haven't attempted the new one. I've heard a lot of good things about the new one, but I'm like,
I've heard nothing but good things about the original one, which is why I brought it up. Me and Chuck have had that same experience where we keep going back and trying to watch it again because one, it's Harrison Ford.
Exactly.
And like especially in like the nerd world, it's like so highly acclaimed.
Yeah, it's one of the pillars
I
of,
know.
like
and I know
nerd
the
cinema.
Checkpoint guys are out there right now monitoring our stream. If any of them are Blade Runner fans that can come and explain it to me, I invite them to come in and try and talk me into watching this stupid movie again. Because nerds love Blade Runner, and I don't know. I cannot. Every time I tried, and Chuck's the exact same way. I think we fall asleep every time.
Every time I watch it, I get like 20 minutes farther than I did the last time, and then I wake up right at the end when the girl screams and dies. And
what's the movie that's kind of similar but with Schwarzenegger in it?
Terminator?
No. Where he's like on like a TV show.
Oh, The Running Man.
The Running Man.
Okay.
But isn't that like just Blade Runner but for the dummies?
No, not really.
No?
I think they're drastically different.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Running Man absolutely.
Shows how much I know.
The Running Man absolutely entertaining. I'll catch that sometimes on cable.
Yeah, because it's got the pervy guy from the game show, the pervy game show host guy, who's like the host of the whatever the futuristic show that Schwarzenegger's on.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's
Well, the Checkpoint guys either are bored of us, don't want to know what we're doing in here to their studio, or none of them can defend Blade Runner because none of them came in.
No, they're like, bitch, you flying your own.
Yeah, they're like,
we also got nothing good to talk about this week. So like, you do your show and we'll do our show.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Well, I do have a couple of things to bring up. One of them you sent to me last week, James. We'll get to it after the break here. Some Doctor Strange news from Avengers Endgame.
I'm wearing my Doctor Strange t-shirt.
I know.
Perfect.
Look at that. Can you get a good
Can
shot
everybody
of that?
see it? Yeah, I'll show it off. Look at that. Yeah, don't mind my nipples.
Yeah. All right, coming back, Nerd Radio.